is? Well, I am just out here in my backyard because the weather is gorgeous and it gets really hot here in Redding, so I'm just trying to soak it up while it lasts. Well, if you're listening to this, you have probably faced rejection in some way or another. And if you look through the Bible, you will come across a long list of leaders who faced rejection and overcame it and became powerful voices for generations to come. It was when they overcame rejection, it was then that God began to use them in mighty ways. Let me start by asking you some questions. When questioned, do you become agitated or angry easily? Are you known for being argumentative? Do you do things to gain acceptance or attention? Do you overvalue positive evaluation by others? Do you hold back from attending a social event or party because you see yourself as different, unlikable, or unwanted? Do any of these sound familiar to you? Well, if you answered yes, or maybe, or probably so, to any of these things, then you are most likely holding on to a spirit of rejection. And better chance than not, it's likely affecting your life in more ways than you realize. And it begins to steal from you. It can start by just stealing from you in social settings or social events, and then seep into your job and your relationships, and then your dating relationships and your friendships, and then it starts taking over your confidence, and it begins to eat away at every little thing, and before you know it, your joy is robbed from under you. Rejection can strike anyone. It can affect the best looking, the most handsome, the most beautiful ones that are extremely intellectual, and even those that are intellectually challenged. Rejection can be based on skin color, ethnic origin, or gender, and it can happen for no good reason and entirely outside of our control. See, when we're children or teens, like many of you that are watching, rejection from others can eat at the tender root of our lives, and it causes so much damage and begins to affect how we view the world and we view others, and in return, it keeps us in this place of bondage. So I want to share with you a couple foundational truths about this very topic. The first one is that Jesus is the center of success and joy. When we find our acceptance, our fulfillment in our Creator and His purposes for us, we can find where our true joy lies. We actually stop trying to find our value and our acceptance in people or the environment around us. So time with God every day, by reading the Word or worshiping or journaling, it actually brings us back to the truth. It reminds us every day at the beginning of our day who He says we are. I remember this one time, I was turned down for a job that I really wanted, and I thought, why wouldn't they want me? I have a great personality, I have the giftings for the job, I had the experience and the resume to back it up. Well, I didn't understand, and I was pretty bummed out when I didn't get the job. But because of that, I was not destroyed. I was bummed, but not destroyed. And because of that, an open door to move to Redding, California happened, where I met my husband and have had a beautiful life. See, my value was not found in the success of whether I got the job or not. My value was found in who I was created to be. And if someone else does not see me for that, well, that's their loss. The next thing is that we have to learn how to experience and exercise the power of forgiveness on a regular basis. For those that have experienced rejection, embracing the loving power of God's forgiveness helps break the enemy's stronghold, this debilitating stronghold of rejection in our lives. Is there someone maybe that's listening today that has been rejected? Maybe you were like me, you weren't a good fit for the job. Or maybe someone in your life has said something that has really torn you down and demeaned you. Someone maybe has been hurt in a relationship, and even though you know you're better off now, what they said and what they did to you really hurt. And maybe rejection came when a parent never showed up when they told you they would. I want to encourage you to walk out the steps of forgiveness, because the bitterness is not hurting the other person, it's hurting you. These are just a couple of the foundational truths that will help you overcome rejection. But this week, I am going to be releasing a new podcast episode, and expand on these foundational truths. I'm going to expand on these two that I told you and share some other ones, and also some tools on how to step away from this spirit of rejection. I'm going to invite my husband, Dr. Cornelius Queck, to share a real life testimony on how he has faced rejection in his life. And he's going to give some real insight in how he overcame this difficult time in his life. It is going to be fire. It is so good to be back with you guys. But until next time, beloveds.